This is the first time in 17 years that an Indian Prime Minister is visiting Nigeria. There are 54 countries in Africa. Nigeria has the biggest population and the second largest economy. It is also a strategic partner of India. There is a growing economic relationship. Both sides are expanding ties in areas like energy and defense. More than 200 Indian companies have invested in Nigeria. Their investment is worth over $27 billion. Then
Nigeria's export seen in 2025 paints a vivid picture. Total exports climbed to $13.33 billion. Crude oil exports made up around $8.38 billion, about 63% of total export value. Non-oil exports accounted for about $4.95 billion. Now here's the headline. India emerged as Nigeria's top export destination, receiving goods worth $1.84 billion, up 76% year-on-year. Breaking it down, Nigeria exported $912 million in crude and $925 million in non-oil products to India. To compare, in earlier years, Nigeria-India trade hovered around $15 billion, falling to about $7.9 billion in 2023 and 2024 due to oil dips. Now here in 2025, we're seeing the rebound and maybe even a realignment underway. Could this economic pulse be the start of something bigger? In the next section, we'll crack open what exactly is being sold and why it matters. So far, we've explored the export surge, oil and agribusiness flows, and India's growing role. But let's zoom out. How much money is flooding into Nigeria in this trade wave? In Q1 2025, Nigeria recorded a whopping $5.64 billion in total capital imports, marking a 67% increase year-over-year. This includes all manner of investment stocks, debts, FDI, pointing to renewed confidence in the economy. Breakdown: over $5.2 billion, 92% came from portfolio investments, that stocks and bonds flowing into banks and financial instruments. Another $311 million came via other investments, and a mere $126 million was direct foreign investment FDI. That flash of capital, though portfolio-heavy, signals excitement. It means foreign investors see Nigeria as a market opportunity again, and India's economic engagement is a big spotlight magnet. India hasn't just bought exports, it's pumped in direct support. Since around 2022, India has extended 5 lines of credit locks to Nigeria amounting to $395 million. Roughly $100 million has already been used for critical power projects, a gas-fired turbine in Cross River State $30 million, plus transmission lines, solar streetlights, and mini-grids in Kaduna $31 million. At the same time, the India Exim Bank, India's export and credit institution, sealed another deal to support West African development. A new $40 million aimed at funding future energy, agriculture, and infrastructure projects across the region. Those dollars signal strategy, not charity, and they'll end the question: is India becoming Nigeria's financier of choice? Let's pull back to how this shapes security and global standing next. Trade flows by sea, and those routes are dangerous. Nigeria and India recognized this the hard way, and in late 2024, they formally deepened maritime security cooperation. Prime Minister Modi, during his first visit to Nigeria in 17 years, and President Tinubu agreed on coordinated action in intelligence sharing, counter-terrorism, and anti-piracy operations in the Gulf of Guinea and the Indian Ocean. Why does that matter? Because ensuring safe shipment lanes means business moves even when storms, pirates, or geopolitics try to hit pause. India's Navy presence and security ties say, "We've got your back, not just with cargo, but with protection," and this trust is rare. It ripples through economic corridors and power moves. Meanwhile, at global summits, Nigeria secured nearly $14 billion in Indian investment pledges, including a bold $3 billion by Jindal Steel. And power in the steel sector. Reuters: that level of commitment shows India betting big on Nigeria's growth. But there's also infrastructure in motion. Nigeria secured a $747 million syndicated loan, led by Deutsche Bank, to build the first phase of its 700-kilometer coastal highway from Lagos to Calabar. The total project price? A staggering $11 billion. Reuters: that highway, when built, will unlock trade, ease logistics, and connect economic hubs like never before. Here's what to keep watching. Will Nigeria's highways and harbors deepen India's reach? Will maritime protection turn into shared military strategies? And will this pave the path to industrial corridors? Keep watching, because the stage is set for our next act. All these investments, trade and security reflect politics, but they're rooted in people, culture, and long-term vision. India has become Nigeria's largest African trading partner. As of 2022, trade volume stood at $14.95 billion, with India importing about $10.29 billion in Nigerian goods, mostly oil. India's exports around $4.66 billion, ranging from pharmaceuticals to machinery. There are more than 200 Indian companies operating in Nigeria and over 60,000 Indian nationals, making India the second largest employer in the country after the federal government. When market and manpower meet culture, partnerships strengthen and stay. Beyond business, cultural ties run deep. Bollywood movies are widely watched. Indian universities offer scholarships to Nigerian students. Training programs span agriculture, health, water resources, even Hindi language courses. But this is also about global architecture. Indian diplomats and Nigerian leaders share a vision for the global South where development, democracy, and economic justice aren't just slogans, but shared reality. This raises a compelling question. Will this partnership move beyond trade? Could we see joint tech parks, co-built universities, and Nigeria as a manufacturing anchor for South-South exports? That possibility, well, that story's still unfolding. Let's bring it home. Q1 2025 data shows Nigeria exported $13.3 billion worth of goods, and India rose to be the top buyer, importing nearly $1.84 billion, split evenly between oil $912 million and non-oil goods $925 million. That's a signal. The partnership now mixes energy with economic diversity that is overlaid. With a resurgence of capital, $5.64 billion in investment inflows and Indian credit lines of $395 million, plus a fresh $40 million loan to support ECOWAS wide development. These are more than numbers, they're investments in resilience. Security matters too. India and Nigeria aligned to protect trade lanes at sea. Nigeria also secured a $747 million loan to build a critical coastal highway linking Lagos to Calabar that could reshape regional logistics. Then, underneath, there's culture, scholarships, training, Indian business as one of the biggest employers. Shared values. This is slow building trust, and it's real. So what's next? Picture this: a future where India and Nigeria co-author chapters of economic growth, tech innovation, and industrialization, not just in West Africa, but across the global South. A future where infrastructure, knowledge, and culture bind economies as tightly as contracts. We're not closing a book, we're reaching the end of this chapter. But this partnership, it's just getting started. The India-Nigeria trade partnership in 2025 isn't just about oil and numbers on a balance sheet. It's about two rising powers shaping a new global order. Nigeria, Africa's largest economy, has long been India's biggest trading partner on the continent, and now the stakes are higher than ever. In the first quarter of 2025 alone, Nigeria recorded over $5.6 billion in capital inflows, a 67% jump from the previous year. Much of this momentum is linked to India's role as a trusted trade and investment partner. With India's economy hungry for energy and Nigeria seeking diversification, the relationship has grown into something far more strategic. Consider the $14 billion in investment pledges India has made across energy, steel, and infrastructure. Jindal Steel's $3 billion steel venture promises to transform Nigeria's raw minerals into high-value products, while Indian firms are exploring roles in Nigeria's massive 700-kilometer coastal highway project. If realized, these projects could redraw the map of West African trade. But economics isn't the whole story. Maritime security pacts signed in 2024 now protect vital shipping lanes, ensuring billions worth of oil and goods move safely between Lagos and Mumbai. Meanwhile, India's cultural influence, Bollywood films, IT services, pharmaceuticals, and education opportunities has built soft power bridges that money alone cannot buy. Challenges remain: infrastructure gaps, energy shortages, and the need for Nigeria to reduce reliance on oil exports. Yet, the rise of non-oil exports worth $925 million in early 2025 signals progress. Ultimately, this partnership is more than trade, it's a strategic alliance of the global south. If nurtured carefully, India and Nigeria could turn 2025 into the dawn of a new economic era, one that redefines Africa's role in global commerce.